Hey there fellow gamers, welcome back to another epic showcase right here with me at my humble room at CMP. I'm Crunk7up, your friendly neighbourhood gamer. Today we're spawning into the action-packed alpha world of Star Citizen Live. As a long time developed alpha version of this game, it does have some bugs, it does have some trials and tribulations, both graphically and server meshing and the like. That's because they're developing a whole new engineered way of playing a game. It's quite intense. Quite intense. Tonight we'll be playing on the live servers. It is a space sim, as the name Star Citizen suggests. So gear up, strap in, grab your mouse and keyboard, or your controllers, and let's get ready for that 4-4 POV that I'm hoping to bring you. If you'd like to check out the game, go and have a look at robertspaceindustries.com. Check out Star Citizen there. And if you'd like to check out more that CMP can offer you, or I myself can, then please join me on my Discord. A link is on the channel. Also, for your delectation, you will find permanent copies of every stream over at my YouTube, directly after live streaming. By all means, like, follow, share, subscribe, add me, whatever you like. The links are there. Now, without further ado, I think it's time that we join the game, don't you? Let's shift this down and get things moving on over to the actual game. Before we do, let's kill the music and get back to our game. Here we are in the menu. Over to the persistent universe. Primary residence at Orison, which is one of the better places to be at, for sure. There's a lot of stuff around there. Starting on Seraphim Station, because that's where I've moved most of my inventory to. Which, as you will see, there's persistent inventories at every location. that you can land at, so you never really lose stuff. But it is a wise idea to make sure you've got copies of all of your gear. So let's enter the universe. Hopefully we'll get a nice server. Hopefully it'll be one of decent speeds, decent server FPS. And we must remember in this game that and how it runs is very smooth, very operational. However, it does kind of determine the difficulty of the AI, as it's inextricably linked. Whether they'll sort that out in the next patch drops or not that are slated for the rest of the year, who knows? Well, I'm sure we'll find out. So, without further ado, let's start it off. Here we are lying in bed. Obviously we're playing an alpha game, so there are notes to be made as we play about some of the issues we may encounter. Now, I've played for a while before, not as much as some of the other guys that I've played with, who have found way more bugs and glitches than I have, for sure. However, I'm not too sure that the reporting feedback for the development teams is as strong as it could potentially be, as they rely a lot on the community. And personally, I'd like to make the notes and have them passed on, as trivial as that might be. But we'll see. So we've got a little bit of graphical tearing, as you can see at the very bottom of the screen, and you can see through the model. Nothing too major. Doesn't affect gameplay. The animations in this game are pretty smooth, in all fairness. Let's see what frame rate we're running, because it does look like we have had a few hotfixes put into the background for the graphics of this. Standard starting up the board 50 to 60. That's not too bad. Could be worse. It could be worse. I mean, we'll see peaks and troughs of that dip and peak, obviously, as the game loads in and renders all the vectors and such like, all the textures. As you can see, a little bit of the old jitters. Server FPS is a little on the low side though. Zipping between 3 and 6 FPS. That's not fantastic. 4.5 to 5, and 8 is roughly the average that we kind of want to be seeing. So meandering down at the 4 to 5 range, it does lend itself to the jitters. Doesn't mean it's unplayable though, which it could well be if it was an alpha game. One thing I have probably forgotten to do though, for anyone who may be watching or in chat, is what to do better to the start of a stream. Let's have a quick ganders at the old performance tuning settings as they reset. Are we still? No, there we go. So that's what we want to do. We'll do that. We should get another. It should be overclocked to nearly 2700 megahertz. Yep, there we go. That's better. That will be better. We'll give it a chance to judge itself and get itself back up to scratch and snuff. Oh, look at this. Good old trolley. And tipped on its side. Yeah, that's better. Right, so now we'll get rid of the old R factor, the old display error info. Okay, and let's begin. So first thing I'm going to do, chat, is get out let's get out one of my simple ships, I think. Yeah, let's get out the simple ship. Into hangar 2. Okay, let's go to hangar 2. Oh, before we do, let's just... Can't check my inventory while I'm looking through a wall. That's not ideal. Obviously, one of the errors in this game is not being able to... Well, I wouldn't say it's an error, obviously not being able to see through a wall, but of course, when you enter the inventory screen, you would like anything in front of you, or that your character happens to be positioned in front of, to be invisible and to see through it. So we have we've got a compromise by making sure that we've got a clear space in front of us to view our inventory. Again, minor issue, just something everyone has to deal with. Chains for W Monkey. Wow, lots of lag. Yeah, the server FPS is not great today, unfortunately. And there are two people in the home who are also on the internet at the same time as me. Pretty sure they're regulated to the 2.4 gigahertz chain, and I'm on the 5. But I am the furthest from the router, and they are the closest. So could be bandwidth issues. Excuse me. Could just be not a good day, because my router's getting old. It is one of the things I need to update. So we switch everything on when we get in. As you just saw, the in this game, I will mention that there's a interaction menu, which you press with the F key by default, which is used intermittently when you come up to like the elevator screens or to enter your ship and so on and so forth. You can highlight the area, hold the F key, allow the animation to complete, to move on to the next area, as it were. And yeah, so we're in my very simple ship. This is the starter pack that I purchased on a friend's recommendation a couple of years ago now. One, because it was on sale at the time. Two, it was one of the better game packages for ships that you could purchase to then get the game package to be able to join this alpha, basically. Which I did, took the advice, did so. And as you can see, it's not a bad ship. It's just a little on the small side. You can see at the front, I've still got some damage on this ship, even though it's only just spawned. It's been a while since I've used this ship too, so oh, and the look at that, the rear fin as well on the right hand side. It's got a scrape on the rear, some skin taken off, and there's a hole in this side wing as well. So as you can see, there's I mean, this could potentially be damaged from the last time I used it, but I'm pretty sure that I repaired it before. Message by Discord members alone. Oh, so I'm now being told who I can and can't talk to, even though I made friends with them myself. Like, I'm just letting people know what the hell happened, and that the rules are only for one person, not everyone. It's as simple as that. You don't make rules that everyone's supposed to ascribe to, and then only brandish it to one person. You apply them across the board. So, just making people aware that the rules are there for a reason, and that it's not being applied to everyone across the board. And if that's just might be just my experience, but I'm just letting everyone know that that was the case. So, also nice to know that I'm now having someone come into my Discord telling me that who I can and can't talk to. Yeah, fantastic. Because it wasn't bad enough. It wasn't bad enough. I think that everyone over there needs to recognise and realise their own values, really, and their own flaws before coming at me for mine. Especially when I laid mine all out on the fucking table. It's also nice to know you get told to use the chat for shooting. Yeah, because I had issues with that, and I wanted to use it. I really did. Can't help forgetting a fucking 1,000,001 things all at once. But then it's not like everyone else turns around and applies to those rules either. So, like, why should I be outcast and different? We're not coming for you. We're not coming for you. Oh no, 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 you just had a vote that included everyone that didn't actually include everyone at all, right? From what I can assume, it only included the 4 admins. What about everyone else? That's why I asked everyone else, do you have a problem with me? Right? I did some fact finding. I specifically asked, do you have a problem with me? Did I make it uncomfortable? Which were the terms that I was the only one streaming, mate. Oh yeah, well what about Rocket, mate? There are other people who stream. I mean, dictating who people can and can't stream, huh? Very interesting. You want to turn around and grow your Discord and such, but you don't want to do anything to turn around and grow it. I was willing to take on that opportunity, and as soon as I did, everyone just decided to back out. Maybe it's because you started to all realise what you like with the comments and content coming out of your own mouths that was going out to a public place. And if you didn't like that, that's not on me, that was on you guys and the content that was coming out of your faces. If you didn't like what you were hearing, then maybe it was you guys that you turn around and do. I asked everyone's permission before I even started streaming and before I did a month's worth. And then we encountered problems around 3 weeks into that. So it's only the last week and a half that there was an issue. After I'd cleared it with everyone, I actually asked everyone. Whether it was an admin vote or not, man. Admin vote, that was only 3 or 4 people, because I asked everyone else in the Discord server personally that you're saying is being belligerent. No, you didn't tell me to stop, you just told me to move to another fucking channel. Well, I was doing a bit of stress testing to see if the rules applied or not, and they didn't. You didn't ask me. I asked everyone at the start of April. And I had everyone's permission at the time because you all said yes, so it's incredible how short memories that you all have. And that's the problem with narcissism. You don't turn around and start changing the narrative to fit the crime, which is what all of you were doing. So, you know, you can sod off and say what you like, because at the end of the day, I turn around and been trained to spot that shit out. And if you don't like it, I'm not going to turn around and have people give me permission to do something, and then when they don't like what goes up, end up recanting the permission and then start dictating what I can and can't do with my own content. Or then turn around and come at me now and say, oh, don't talk to these people that I've also made friends with. That's a bit harsh. Like, so what, now you're dictating who I can and can't talk to outside of the Discord now? The same as having a personal friend in real life remove me from someone else's server that he actually had no right to just because he's an admin. That doesn't sound wrong to you? I love how I was also told, oh, I was speaking over everyone. Well, guess what? You all speak over everyone as well. What about poor Grumpy? The amount of times that you tried to tell a story that everyone else spoke over. Like, it's incredible how short a memory everyone's got. That, oh, so it doesn't apply to that. That's the specific flaw that everyone had. Everyone, like, might have been Finger's channel, yeah, sure. But that doesn't give you the de facto #1 status to talk over everyone and then have your left and right hand men talk over everyone else when someone's trying to tell a story. Like, that's bang out of order. But none of you want to recognise that at all. Which is my gripe about it. Which is what I'm saying. The rules applied to me, but not to any of you. Fucking incredible, right? And now the counterclaim is, oh, well, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. You've not been applying your own rules since day one, because you only wrote them with me in mind. That's the problem, and that's why you don't like it, because I'm pointing that out. Well, tough cookies. Also, it's great how, oh, we're not coming after you, but you sat here on my stream in my chat and you're now coming to, like, oh, stop harassing people. I'm not harassing people. I specifically asked if they had a problem with me personally based on what Fingers turned around and told me, chat. Which was, I was voted out because I was turned around and speaking over everyone. and because people were not joining in VC because they didn't like me or they had a problem with me. And it turned out that most of the people I've spoken to, I'm an admin, I don't follow rules. Okay, so the rules don't apply to you then. So you confirm my point. So you've got half the people in there that I've specifically spoken to outside of the server that I made friends with whilst playing this game, that I've asked, did you have a problem with me in voice chat, or did you not join the voice chat because you had a problem? And he told me different. So I'm not allowed to fact find and ask a simple question to find out who's bullshitting or not. I think it's incredible. You just turned around and said that you're an admin so you don't follow rules. Well, what was the point of having the rules in the first place if admins aren't going to follow the rules? That means that the specific clause in your rule set of if you have a problem with anyone, then come to the admin and it will be sorted. It means that your abuse of power will see that that's a rule that will never be applied, because it should apply to everyone, including admins, including the owner. So your rules are dog shit. That's the bit that I have a problem with. It's one rule for one and other rules for other people. So it's basically agree with us, and when you don't, we'll kick you. I find that incredible, because surely the whole point of having a Discord server is that if you've got rules, they apply to all, like the laws of the land. Like, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, so I've now got... Oh, so now I'm going to end up with my stream being, like, smashed on, am I? So, I'm just going to assume that this is what happens to GRA. This is what happens to poor fucking Obi. That's what I reckon happened. Fucking incredible. Like, if you're going to have rules, you don't just apply them to who you want them to apply to. You apply them to everyone. Like, you don't just pick and choose. But that's just fucking incredible. Right? And it really hurts that everyone else could turn around and speak over everyone else, but I'm the one that got singled out for it because it happened one time with a fellow member, because we were talking about his health and safety at work when we should have been gaming. Yeah, I agree, that was a fucking bang out of order moment, but you can't then use that for every other fucking instance when you guys have done the same fucking thing. I think that's really harsh. And to then not self-reflect and say, you know what, like, yeah, okay, we were culpable with the same problem. I think that's really gross. Really gross. Like, cheers guys, because there weren't any times that I felt like fucking maligned by it. But then it wouldn't matter anyway, because you don't follow the rules. If I had a gripe with any of the admins, then it's never going to get resolved, is it? Which was mentioned in polite conversation after the game had finished and that streams, like, because that was a polite way of doing it. Like, it weren't like it was a major issue, it's just like, I'm going to highlight the same thing. And then the last week I wasn't even online to play, and when I was speaking when spoken to, and the one time that things got horrible, I ended up getting banned and blocked because I mentioned that I thought the comment was rude and insensitive. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. So again, another fact of the rules apply to one person and not another. That hurts, man. Like, I thought I'd made friends who could turn around and understand that, you know what, like, people have issues, it's an us problem, it's a you problem, whatever. But like, nice to know that rules, even privately, in private servers, rules are different for different people. I think that's incredible. That's not the kind of world I ascribe to. I ascribe to equality and equanimity for all, and it won't apply. As simple as that. I don't intend to use Discord again, I don't think. Maybe for my own server, like if anyone wants to join me on my own server, but you know. Well, sorry chat, and whoever decides to see or view this video, but it's nice to have previous members of a Discord that I was graciously invited to and then gratuitously kicked out of come to the channel to keep tabs on my stream, and to I guess as the chat come after me and dissuade the events, I suppose. Like, all I wanted to do was to show how good this game is, and that people who are playing it have fun in large numbers of groups, regardless of the shit coming out of our mouths, but that we could all turn around and enjoy what is going to, what we all think collectively, whether I like them or whether they like me or not, we all agree that this is the next step in gaming, you know, and that just whether you like space sims or not, you've got to appreciate the graphical intensity, the artwork, just some of the way effects are handled, and the whole persistent universe idea, for Christ's sake. Like, to have a persistent universe of a server that, you know, at the moment a cap of 100, 110-ish sort of people can turn around and play on, and every instance is the same for those people on the server, whether you like it or not. Like, the reason this game is still in now for the past decade and a half is because of the engineering feats that the team are accomplishing behind it. Right? And I just wanted to share that. I still want to share it. I wanted to share it with people I had the fun with, you know, who taught me a lot about the game. Like, I was already interested in the game. I was taking a heavy break from the game last year because of real world instances, real world shit that I had to go through. And I don't want to say dragged back into it, but I specifically asked a friend to drag me back into playing this game, and I managed to start changing my routines in daily life with my neurodivergency, my mental health statuses, to be able to play this game and play it on the regular enough to make friends that I'm guessing I made the wrong friends, right? Like, sure, I made mistakes, but I think that the character and the behaviour of those that were in that server towards me because of those mistakes was fucking grossly heinous. Like, you want to do that to people in real life? Sorry, it smacks of narcissism, that's all. That's what really gets me. You got rules there that you wrote only because I made mistakes that you only want to apply to me and not everyone else. And there's the evidence in my chat. I'm sorry, I'm not harassing people. I only told, by the way, for anyone who does watch this that is from that Discord server, I only specifically asked one question. I then said, okay, thank you to those who didn't ask what had happened. But those that asked, I then revealed the whole story in one lump and my feelings on it, for them to read and make up their own minds, and left it at that. Otherwise, it was a simple, okay, thank you, you enter username. Because I just wanted it to be confirmed that what was being told to me by one or two people as to the excuses and the reasons as to why, right, whether it's bullshit or not. And I call bullshit, because the people themselves have told me all the same story, and the only one that doesn't add up is that one person's. Right, I think that's bang. Why lie to me? Right, and why handle it the way that it was being said to me as well? Like, I'm beneath you. Like, I'm a human being, I'm an equal person. Doesn't matter whether I'm older or younger than someone, or whether you're older or younger than me. Like, treat people with fucking respect. And considering everyone spoke over everyone else in that server, but I'm the one that got singled out for it, oh what, because I did it the most? No, it only happened one time, and then you've used it to apply to any other instance that you see fit. That's bang out of order. That's also not normal. Like, so to come at me and say, oh, olive branch after olive branch, like, I got kicked the first time because of being spoken over. Or speaking over someone when I was giving the same information as clarification to the same thing that we were both speaking about at the time, which happened to be an AMD graphics issue with this game. I'm trying to up the FPS for another user who was having issues. So I've got to keep my mouth shut if I've got relevant experience that apparently classes me as a know-it-all, right? Which again I find ridiculous, because if that's the case, well then you're all know-it-alls as well when it comes to hardware for PCs in this game. Like, what, so I'm the same as you, but I'm the one that gets kicked? Cool. Yeah, very, very equalitous, very inclusive. That's why I had an issue. That's why I asked people, do they have a problem with me? Did I make them uncomfortable in voice chat when I was in voice chat? And I had six members confirm to me that no, they didn't. So I just said thank you. And I had two say, well, I had one person say, oh, well, it didn't make them feel uncomfortable, I made them feel annoyed, which I appreciate, because we had an argument over directions to a place in this game. And on that evening, there's no excuse for it. I might have been tired and overpressed, and that dragged into the game. That's still no excuse. What my issue was is that I was reading out the direct instructions from other players who have put up the guidelines on how to get to this specific, and it felt like I wasn't being listened to over these locations. So either the other person's interpretation was wrong, or the instructions were wrong. That doesn't make it my fault. Not less to butter the point, but I'd already asked for how to get to this location personally to the real life friend 2-3 times before going through that particular argument with another player at the time, and I got just ignored. Now whether the other person forgot or not, there's neither here nor there. I won't get an answer for it. But by the same token, like, it hurts that those things don't get taken into account, because like, I'm the problem, right? Which again I feel is disgusting. So I've either got to be the same, or I've got to weigh my station and be below the person and just shut the fuck up and like not talk to be seen as not talking over people. But then how do you play a game like this when you're supposed to be, you know, diving into maps and such like, to go places to do missions? So, you know, it's like, let's do a delivery mission. Let's do a basic delivery mission. Let's just start out with this. So yeah, it's cruel. I think it's just unnecessarily cruel, and to point it out and for there to be an issue with me, I think is fucking pain. I don't think it's very kosher. It's nice to know that there's a whole group of people there that didn't have a problem for 3.5 weeks until I had the first issue, right? Until those rules were made. Those rules get made. I disappeared for 4 days, I think. 4 days before I streamed again. Then I streamed again for, I think it was over a weekend. Same issue arose, so the channel, the streaming channel, got made. And I thought, okay then. So, I didn't stream. I came off. I didn't go on. I got asked where I was. I came back on, and I started to test the waters. I thought, you know what, I'll stream. I'll stream and see what happens. Yes, okay, I didn't use that channel. Because the 2 chances I had since that channel got created, apparently all of this was happening behind the scenes, where people have got hatred towards me talking over people. Like that whole last week and a half, I either wasn't online, wasn't coming online specifically, or when I did come online, I was only speaking when spoken to. Which I find, you know, fantastic to think that I'm still being tarnished with that same brush, even though I was employing that particular attitude, that technique. And you know how I've learnt that technique is through the 2.5 years of psychotherapy from being abused by a woman, because she was a narcissist, malignant and covert narcissist, who actually physically, like, the effects I've felt from her, it's changed my sexuality. I went from being an ordinary heterosexual guy to being so terrified of women I'm now demisexual, right? And I've had to come to terms with it. And then also, I only had bipolar OCD before I went into that 4-year relationship. I came out of it and I now have PTSD almost to the scale of military personnel, which goes to tell you how harrowing that abuse is. Especially when she still, to this day, and over the past 18 months, 2 years, has used my daughter, our daughter, who is autistic herself, neurodivergent herself, has been using her as a weapon. Which I have to contend with on a daily basis. And I only get to see her every 2 weeks on weekends. You know? So, learning in psychotherapy how to utilise the grey rock method and how to utilise, you know, stress testing or troubleshooting techniques to test theories without causing concern or without raising alarm bells, so that you don't end up in harm's way. And one of them is to, you know, either just be like, okay, yes, during that last week, that's why I wasn't online, that's why I wasn't playing, that's why I wasn't responding to anyone, and that's why when I did come online, I only said 1 or 2 things to anyone and everyone. Didn't even joke like I used to, because clearly that was the problem as well. So to turn around and then say, a day after I sent the Discord CEOs a message saying, look, no, what you said really hurt. I think that was bang out of order. I think it was rude, and I'm letting you know that, look, this is how I feel about it. There's no need to be a dick about it, but I think that's bang out of order when you're coming at me so hard with these rules and then you're not employing them to yourself. Okay? I think that's really bang out of order. And what was my punishment? Oh, okay, go back to the group, get everyone on board, and then get everyone to vote to get rid of me. Like, if anyone can't do any self-reflection that's in that server, I really feel for you. I really do. Because that's not a world that I want to live in, to be honest. Spiteful and hurtful. Like, yeah, you could turn around and say, oh, well, you were streaming, and we didn't want you to stream. So then why did you give me permission to start with on a platform that covers me, if I do, whether I'm in your server or in another room or anything, by GDRP rules, or GDPR rules, whatever it's called. The same with Twitch. Like, oh, because it's just a nice thing to do to ask for permission. I did. I just asked for permission after the very first stream when you asked me outright, do I stream? Can you give us a warning that you stream? Yeah, sure, I stream every day I get the chance. Do you agree to this? Yes. So it's fine for the first 2.5, 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and it wasn't fine for the last week and a half, even though I barely did any in the last week and a half. Cool. So again, my assumption is it was the content that was going out, that was public, that was coming out of your guys' mouths, that was the problem, and you didn't want it to go out. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that, oh, I need to ask permission on every stream that I'm streaming. You're on Discord, for fuck's sake. Like, the very fact we're speaking to each other, we are streaming to each other. Like, with oh shit. we are streaming to each other our voices, which everyone's agreed to do the instant they go into voice chat. Me turn around and then streaming that on Twitch, like, I'm covered by your server's GDPR. I'm then also covered by Twitch's GDPR. So, what the hell? And that's not me trying to be smug about it or anything, because I've now spent the past week looking into this to find out what I can and can't stream to make sure that my channel is kosher. So, to me, it just feels like you guys in that server had a problem because you didn't have any control over it. And your actions thereafter just proved it. The way I got spoken to in DMs, the way I've just been spoken to on my own Twitch channel, on this first stream back, where I'm being told not to talk to people outside of Discord, people that I've spoken to myself. I'm not badgering them, I've only sent them the one message, the one question, apart from an okay thank you. Or if they've specifically asked a follow-up question as to what happened, have I then divulged what's occurred? If you don't like that they're then asking you questions, that's not on me, that's on them and you, right? Because clearly there's an issue with some term of behaviour there. Like, and all I'm doing is highlighting my experience. So if you're trying to negate my experience, then you are no better than a bully or an abuser. Simple as that. And no offence, I can't tolerate those because I've had enough of them in my entire life. Purely for being a slight bit different. Because tolerance is a very fine fucking thing in this world, but you can't find it for love nor money. Because as soon as shit don't go people's way, they don't like when they have their own flaws pointed out to them. Well, I pointed out the flaws of people on that Discord server, and clearly they don't like it. Oh, I'm sorry, but I loved those guys. I loved the camaraderie we had. I loved the banter we had. But I don't like that I'm being treated different to other people because you made rules for me that don't apply to anyone else but me. Right? That's being exclusionary. That's being a bully. That's being an abuser. End of story. You can whitewash it any way you fucking like. That's not how it works in this world. At the end of the day, I think that you just didn't like that I pointed that out in you. Well, I'm sorry, but I thought you should know because I actually care about people and I actually want to let people know so that they can grow too. Like, the issues you had with me, I've turned around and taken on board and I've learned and grown from them. Which, I suppose, if I get anything flack-wise from this after this stream, then it's just going to further prove my point that you can't grow from this experience yourselves and you're stuck in being man-child people that clearly don't like their own flaws, their own problems, which I think is sad, in all fairness. Because at the end of the day, I think it's disgusting that you can apply the rules to one person and not apply them all to yourselves, when you should be applying them across the board. Otherwise there wouldn't be rules on your server that they're saying that apply to everyone, or that's supposed to apply to everyone. So what gives? Huh? What gives? If that is the case, then there's some issues there that I think need to be looked into and adjusted. If you don't like them, I'm sorry, the problem's with you guys, not with me. Anyways, back to Star Citizen and how this game is. So there are issues. Luckily, so far, I've not ended up encountering too many, which is cool. Where's the drop off? Okay, so I need to drop this packet off, drop off over at the Ashburn. There we go. That's where we need to go. That's where I need to drop it off. So I'm just doing a quick delivery mission on this moon. Let me guess, I can't... Oh, I can. Oh, I didn't think I'd be able to... We're right close to that. This could be one of the bugs that comes up. Where... Oh no, it will let me do it. Okay, so quantum travel. Some of the issues with quantum travel, as much as it is fast travelling, you can sometimes get bounced through into or bounced through off of and be destroyed the atmosphere of planets and moons if they happen to have them. Which I was so close to this moon that usually it says obstructed and you can't get into... You can't jump. Like this one says too close. So yeah, I was fully expecting to not be able to jump at that point, because it would say that the moon's obstructing me, like, which, you know, okay, fine, cool. Let's jump up a little. Come down a little. Let's bring that speed down. So yeah, occasionally it will just turn around and QT you regardless, and there won't be any clipping or meshing or anything like that to the textures and the wireframes and the vectors and stuff of the game, which can sometimes be an issue because obviously you'll end up with an instant death. That isn't your fault, it's just a game bug. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Anyway, let's drop this bad boy off. As you can see, like the meterage to just this one moon, it's quite small, is really quite accurate, I guess, in size. It's a large reason as to why me and those guys like this game, is because of how unbelievably expansive it is. I mean, to be able to have a universe, a star system that is this large, and oh, I've not landed properly, have I? No, I didn't think I had. I need to do that. Bring my gear out because I haven't got my gear out because I'm silly. Cool. But yeah, it's a large reason why we like this game. Oh, what? I'm not going to be able to land on this surface. Is it because it's uneven? Okay, yeah, there's a bit of a bug, I think. We're landed, but it wasn't landing quite. Yeah, because there's a little divot. Do you see that little divot on the wheel? That little divot was precluding me from landing properly with the gear out because it wasn't a flat surface. So it's supposed to take the suspension and like hit some wells and stuff into account, which is fine. For the most part, it does. But occasionally you'll have an issue like this, where you'll go to land and it won't let you land properly, or your ship will land sort of, but then it will start receiving damage because of the collision aspect of things, because of how it's landed through the wireframe model and hasn't been even. In this instance, coming out like this, you would probably see the ship doing this and fluctuating and bouncing and bobbing and stuff because it's not surface, but then it's not registering as being a flat surface, so it's doing this shit like you get in some games. Again, most of the bugs and stuff in this aren't brilliant, like they're not majorly bad, I guess would be the way that I'd put it. They are manageable, they are playable, they're very akin to the early 2000s type of games, game glitches and stuff. There we go. We've delivered the package, so hopefully the next there you go, contract complete, accept, award. There we go, we're rewarded. So we've just done that. Hi, we're a small family owned and operated delivery company that's currently seeking a new contractors in the Crusader area. If you're interested in working with us, the following delivery would be a great trial to see if you're a good match for the company. Package for pickup, this package at the Julep Ravine Aid Shelter on Selling, which we were at. And then we've dropped off to this place, the Ashburn Channel Aid Centre on Selling. So that was cool. That's that one done. We like that. So now we've got all the Ling stuff, so I might just stick around and do the Ling delivery bits and pieces for now. And do some package missions. These were the first set of missions that I was planning on doing when I first got the game in this Titan. For anyone who was interested in getting the game and getting into it, they're supposed to be the missions that your beginners would want to get in because they're quiet, singular solo play, just to get you into how expansive. And there you go, F key, sorry, next to your WASD brings up your interaction menu is what I meant. That's my dead body that I'd love to loot. I can loot, brilliant. So we're going to put that in vehicles, I think. Let's put it, yeah, let's put it all in there. I've just put my entire body in the vehicle, and there's a naked me. It's got to be an existential crisis in the game, right? Which you can do in this game, obviously. There are funny things in this game that you can and can't do, or that trigger funny effects and such like. So what's next? Let's have a look. Go to the contract manager. So we got these deliveries that we can do now. These are quite expansive. So what I think I'm going to do is potentially get in the cutter, I think. $15k, $12k. Let's go for the smaller ones first and we'll clear them up. The 9k ones. We'll do the 3k ones first, I think. Yeah, let's do that one. We'll keep to the Julep one because we're quite close to the place. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, another thing to mention as well, chat. These blue rings aren't there for no reason. These are the actual orbits of all of the markers that you can see on the map around the Stanton Sun. And they do actually travel those, like, in, I don't want to say real time, because what's real time in a game? But yes, they do maneuver around the sun, even though they are all obviously relative to each other, so they don't deviate too much from where they are in position to each other. However, they do actually rotate around this sun, because you do get night and day on each surface, each planet, each moon, each station, etc. So they are definitely rotating around in these orbital patterns that are different. So yeah, it's pretty wicked. We need to go to, where's the next one? I did accept that mission, didn't I? Did I accept that mission? Apparently I didn't accept it. I swear I pressed accept. Again, another bug. You think you've accepted something and it turns out that's not the case. Or occasionally it will turn around and ping out. It will ping out and you'll end up having to re-accept it if it's not been deleted and disappeared entirely off the job board, which it looks like that one specifically had. I assume because we've I accepted it, but it was back at the same place that this mission started, and I'm still at the end location, which occasionally can happen. So let's have a look. Yeah, we'll do this one because it's on selling. There we go. That's better. Collect a package from Tram and Myers. Right, so let's have a look at Tram and Myers, shall we? Just zip down. Where's Tram and Myers? They're on this side of the planet. They're not far. We'll go there. We'll set the route. There we go. So let's get the hell off of here. There it is. There you go. That's what it's supposed to look like when you get up and there's something in the way. Obviously didn't do this on the first mission, first accepted delivery. Yes, so it's obstructed, which means we're going to have to make our way up and out the atmosphere. Well, not that there's much of an atmosphere because it is a moon. Let's see if we've got anywhere we can go to that's a little bit quicker, maybe. Oh no, we just needed to get up and out the way. There we go. Now we can front and travel. Brilliant. Oh yeah, the only other reason that I turned around and messaged those outside of the Discord server that was mentioned was to double check that I hadn't made them uncomfortable and stuff, to be able to continue the friendship that was made in this game in that server. I don't think that's a crime. I don't think that's something that can be classed as harassment either. But if it is, according to the people in that Discord, then I'm sorry, you're gatekeeping other people as well now. Cool. Which again, to me, just goes to show the capacity of a person and where their true intentions lie. Which was actually where I thought the next shit would come from, is I would then be told exactly what I've been told in my own stream. Don't talk to other people outside of the server. Like, you don't have control over those people. Like, what, you don't want me to have any friends? I don't think you're the person that gets to control that. And if you think you do, again, then you're just a narcissist. That's exactly what a narcissist does. It's exactly what an abusive person does, who isn't aware of their own fucking flaws. Is that they'll tell people who they can and can't talk to. Like, whether I made those friends within a server or not, like, you don't get to dictate to people who they can and can't talk to outside of your server, your control, whatever. Like, if you do that in real life, God, heaven forbid, you just get a slap, right? Or a punch. Imagine telling your mate down the pub, oh no, don't talk to that person, blah 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 blah, and then you see them talking to him, what are you going to do? Disown them or kick them out of the pub? And when you put it in those kind of contexts, you start to realise how ridiculous that behaviour is. Like, which was my point. That's what I'm highlighting. That's ridiculous behaviour. It's bang out of order. It's not necessary. Why be that spiteful? What, because you got found out? Or because you don't like what was being said? Like, well, I'm sorry, but it was said for a reason. Hello, have we got other people here? I think we have other people here. Look at this lovely little NPC, APC, whatever. Right, I don't want to... Oh, shit. Well, that didn't work. Well, that was a fucking funny mistake. I just lamped it on the lamppost trying to avoid the NPC and nearly nosedived into it. Oh dear. Well, you got to capture the funny moments, right? Gotta have a laugh. Yeah, what was I doing? I was... there's the door. There's the door. So they've parked around the corner. The question is, are they still in here? Is the question. Do I now need to be careful? Because there are people inside who are waiting for me to come in. Are they going to just shoot me? Alright, let's have a look. Can we see through? Are they inside? Are you waiting? Are you around the corner? What you doing? I don't see anyone in there. But you can never be too sure in this game. So I'll tell you what, we're going to turn everything off, because in this game it's important to turn everything off and also lock your door, which is just basically shutting it, and then no one can access your stuff. I don't like this, so I'm going to go equipped, because this is just a package mission, but we know what people can be like. Because, well, you're not going to let me shut my door now. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, so I can't shut my door. There we go, I shut it while I'm inside it. Now, I'm really hoping that there isn't people in here that are going to try and kill me. But again, you never know in this game, so let's find out. We'll see. Let's have a look. So, who's behind door number 1? Apparently nobody. Okay. Maybe they were doing a different kind of mission, considering the equipment and tools around here. Let's find out. Let's see what's cracking. No one. Okay, cool. So we'll just take the package. Put the gun away automatically. Another quick little glitch there as the animation pulled this through a solid surface, but that's okay. We don't mind that. The objective stuff's all coming up nicely, which is good. Obviously we want to turn around and see that. Now we'll get back outside. Stick this bad boy on the Titan. There we go. Let's just hope that... Wait, he's still there. Okay, so let's assume that someone was doing this mission and potentially died. And their vehicle's just stuck here. Let's open the door. Or maybe they've gone for a spacewalk or something. Which can happen, you know how it is. Let's just drop that on the floor. Whoa, I thought that had phased through my floor, which is something that can happen. Because not every floor is solid in this game. I'm sure you will see in future streams that there are some issues where things can go through floors. Both items and yourself. The character models in this are hilarious sometimes. Right, so we're now up and away. There's our power on. Let's zoom into us. Where we've got to drop it off again. Around the other side of Selin. So we go zoom in. Back to Ashburn. There it is. Set the route. Won't let me set the route because I'm not in space. You've actually kind of got to be off the floor. That's fine. We'll get back into the groove because it's been over a week now since I've played this game and done anything meaningful. So getting back into the groove, getting used to the old mouse and such like. let's see, when's this going to say that exit atmosphere? There isn't really an exit on atmosphere on this moon of selling. I mean, I suppose there is a little bit. In this game, though, exit atmosphere is just the distance that you need to be off the floor to be able to quantum drive over to places, which for this is 2,000 meters, I believe, or just above 2,000 meters. I mean, that's not too bad. It's just having to wait until it all locks up and targeted to spool it and quick travel. So yes, we'll crack on with doing these little deliveries, and then move up in the world, I suppose. You'll notice that in the bottom left, I know I've just bottom left my mouse view, but just so you can see it at the minute, there's a bar that's going yellow. That is my hydration bar, which I actually need bottles of drink to be able to satiate that. So this is like any other survival game. You have to eat and drink to keep yourself alive. At the moment, most people only bother with the Cruise Green Lime Lux bottles, because they both attend to the hydration, which is that yellow counter at 37%, soon to be 36%, and the one next to it, 71%, is food, which is at 71% for me. Yeah, Lux as a regenerative in this game does both. So why buy loads of food and loads of drink when you only need to buy one bottle of drink, because it's more cost effective and it does both, and to equal amounts as to if you bought food or separate fluids. Also, there's a little bit of a hack that you can do. I don't know if that's still the case, because obviously I've had some time off. But there is a way where you can duplicate it. It's not quite a duplication, but it count. I suppose in older gamer terminology, it would be counted as a duplication trick or glitch. Now, again, this is an alpha game, and it is one of the bugs that I'm sure will get resolved in the next patch drop. But yeah, most players have figured out, and I got taught this by a couple of people actually in that previous Discord server. Full credit to them for teaching this, but as a survival method. So you basically need 2 bottles on you. You need to drink from both of them. Get them all the way from 100% to 0%, so they've got nothing in them. But you need to keep them stacked as a ×2 in your inventory. Okay. So when you've drank one bottle down to nothing, you keep it there. You then wait until you need to drink again, I guess, so I suppose you could do it immediately, because it's more of an inventory glitch, I believe. Which, yeah, if you drink both of the bottles and then stack them together in your inventory, so it says 2 of this thing, and then grab that item and place it in your hand in the inventory screen, you can duplicate it. It will say that the bottle was empty, or both of them should be empty, because you know they are. You've just drank from both of them. But when you go to use them, it's full. It's just infinite drink. So you can stay permanently hydrated and satiated food-wise, because that's what it does. So really, really cool little trick there. Which hopefully I've got bottles with me to be able to do this. Otherwise, I'm a little fucked, and I will need to drop off this elsewhere. Oh look, there we go. I've got 2 there and 1 here. So we'll do it with this one. We'll carry this bottle. Just take the helmet off, because you can't drink if you've got your helmet on. So that's something you've got to remember and pay attention. There's a lovely bottle of Lux, right? So we'll use it. A little bar on the right hand side of that hand as it goes down. Yeah, it refreshes, and again the bar's a little glitchy. Now that, by all means, is empty, right? I'm holding left click to be able to drink. It doesn't register the drink. Okay? So now what we do is we put it back in. There we go, it says 0%, and we've got 1 of them. So what I'm going to do is we'll split this one down, just so there's no confusion. I'm going to put this one in and put it there. So now I'm going to carry this one. I don't need to drink. Now, this shouldn't matter whether you need to drink or not. I'm going to drink this one as well. Oh, I do. It didn't fill it all the way up. Well, now I'm going to be 100% hydrated. Fantastic. Fully drank. Just double check. Yep, can't drink it at all. Nothing in it. Right. So I'm now going to double stack them. Right? Because they're now 2 empty bottles. If I now drag it into my hand, unlimited fluids. Brilliant. And that is, as you can see, I've still got the 100% full one here. But so long as I return this empty bottle back to that empty bottle, see how they're both empty? Double stack it. They're both empty. I can drink permanently for free. Fabulous. Great trick, guys. Thank you for teaching me it. It's now going to be, if people don't know it and then you come across this channel and then see it, fabulous. You've just learned in this alpha, in this patch version anyway, the unlimited drink trick, I suppose you could call it. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, we need to get back on there. I just realised. So if you've been listening to that audio, I was choking because I didn't put my helmet back on and we're on a fucking moon with no atmosphere. So that was a dick ass move, wasn't it? One thing to always remember, before you go outside, stick on your fucking helmet and your armour, because if you don't, the radiation that is coming in the next big patch is going to kill you, and if it doesn't, the temperature will, and if that doesn't, you're in space, baby, so there's no fucking oxygen. And that's what starts to kill you, hence why I had those choking sounds. Which I do have to say, actually, that my volume is quite quiet today. Why is my volume quite quiet? Let's put that there, shall we? Put it at 90. Remember that 46, that should be better. There we go, that's a bit better. Now we can hear some fucking sounds. So that's another bug to report, actually. Whenever I enter this game, I have noticed that regardless of what the audio slider for the volume is set at on the master value doesn't necessarily translate to the value it tells you. So, for example, I usually have my master volume at 38 because in my headphones and for the stream and so on and so forth, it seems like a okay volume to have where you guys can hear it all. I can hear to a decent modicum where it's not screaming into my ears what's going on. Yeah, so I think it's a decent volume personally. These will stay at maximum volume and I'll adjust for the game volume. That also is the volume that's on the stream, that's just at a standard. I think the stream's set to a -1 dB for game volume, and then my mic is at a +1 dB, just because of the volume for the mic and where it's positioned on these Turtle Beach 600s. Not a sponsor, but if you want to, get in touch. But yeah, so I've noticed that even though I keep those volume sliders at the same volume, the game volume doesn't follow. Sometimes I'll come in and it's exponentially louder than it was the previous gameplay, and then like today I've come in after a week and a bit and it's exponentially quieter than it was before, and I've had to adjust it by 15-20 points. So it just goes to show, again, another bug, that, and that's not just the master volume, that's also the sound effects volumes I'm about to put up too. Which again, it's one of those bugs that I've noticed in alpha. See, now I've come back in and it seems quiet. It seems quite loud again. So let's put them back down again. I don't know why, just in that one place seemed really quiet. Oh look, we've now got weather cracking on this moon as everything goes to the dark side. Yep. No, I'm not exiting the ship. So yes, we will. We've just done that mission. So we're getting a lot of the Ling delivery routes. That one sounds quite involved, actually. Let's finish that Kovalex delivery. Yeah, okay. So we've got to go to Kovalex Station Gundo, which is on Daymar, is it? There it is. Got to go to that shipping hub. Cool. Well, that gives us a chance to get off this moon, which is a good thing. Let's auto up. Whoops. So that has got us off the moon and out of atmosphere for the moon. And then, okay, so we've got a QT obstruction there, which is M3. Cool. So I now need to find a different. Oh, there you go. There's an issue that can happen with QT where it's not coming up with all of the jump points that are available. So let's clear that route, shall we? There we go. That's better. Let's go to Seraphim. Again, another bug that can occasionally happen. If you turn around and set a route in the map before taking off a place, whether it's a flat surface on a moon or planet, oh, this might bounce us through the atmosphere, we might die, looks like we could die. No? Okay. Is it because Seraphim is right in front of us? Yeah, okay, cool. So it did stop us in that place. Always fraught with danger. And as the stream says, in space no one can hear you scream. Or in this case it would be scream with death. Yeah, let's actually keep that on because that's always helpful. Let's get to full whack. And then we'll bring it down ever so slightly. Oh, we want that off. And now we want to.
Please proceed to assign landing.
Yeah, cool. Let's boost down. Not until we red out though. I do want to raise above. And we also want to slow down. Slow right down. There we go, there's a target. Let's get the old wheelies out. Sorry, landing gear. Oh, that was nearly into the wall. That was terrible. Oh well, I'm not too bothered. Didn't die. There we go. That wasn't the smoothest of landings. I just wanted to get in quick. Mainly because I want to turn the engines off. I want to turn this off. But then I also want to repair the damage that apparently this ship has. Ooh, 465. So I clearly started with around a couple hundred credits worth of damage. Now this ship will take 2, 3, nearly 4 grand's worth of damage before it's exploded. It's dead. Clearly hitting that lamppost, smacking the ground a couple of times. Didn't do it any favours. I'd say that's probably where a good half to 3/4 or 2/3 of the damage on that was. Where it's come from. But that's okay. That's okay. We got this thing back safe. Don't know what to do with my dead body, like, because there's nothing on him. There's nothing to loot on him either, because I've looted it all. Ha 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 ha. So, existential crisis aside, let's. This is going to seem grim, but I love that you can do this in a game like this. Drag the body. Is it going to give me the animation to drag him? Oh, maybe not. Oh, so it's locked me out of using my own guy, has it? Okay, so we'll just lift him up with the tractor beam. Floating me. Oops. Well, he's dead now. Yeah, he's a placeholder. Woo! Look at him go. Look at that dead me go. What a great thing to do with a character model. Let's, how far can this thing stretch, you reckon? Quite a way. Okay, let's reel him back in. Now I'm just scrolling with the mouse wheel with this. Let go. Oh, okay. Let's, oh, it doesn't... Okay, that's a little annoying. Another bug. So, I want to float him up and then release as he flies, but it's a little jittery because of how the release works, and on release you can clearly see the transition of him brick walling because of the command. So it will do it at low, but it won't do him at speed. Let's see if we can... Oh. Okay, let's get him... We'll do it at 10 meters, shall we? Yeah, that's close to 10 meters. Let's yeet! Yeah, see how it didn't want to... Back to 10. I'll do it at 8 and a bit. Yeah, okay, so where I click is where the brick wall slaps, and then he lets go. Whether it's close up... Further, I think that's to do with where the command of the tractor beam actually is, where that can't be a smooth transition. Now, yeah, okay, you've got these yo-yo kind of string type dynamics going on. How ironic that the contract swing on by has just cropped up while I'm swinging a dead me model around. Oh, that's funny. Hilarious moment number 2 on the stream has been captured. Fantastic. But yeah, you can see as you're stringing him around and building up speed, we've got the string of the tractor beam, right? So trying to yeet and then let go. Yeah, see where I let go? I clicked and he then hit the wall after he was supposed to pass that point. Even though he'd already passed that point, it clipped him back to make it look like he hadn't been released until that point, and then the animation carried on forward. So again, little glitches and issues, but it's cool. That's fine. We don't mind that, because again, as you can see, it's a beautiful looking game. You do need a decent amount of hardware to run it, I will say that, and don't believe what the it's the only criticism of tonight actually of Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries for this game is that their minimum spec, what they believe the minimum spec is to run this game, or can be the hardware that can be minimum spec to run this game, I wouldn't trust it, because me and the guys in the previous server, like most of the people playing this game, all have pretty dense hardware, right? So I'll give you a rundown. I'm running an AMD Ryzen 950-900X, right? So it's 3.7 gigahertz, more like 3.725 gigahertz out the box, and I have it, and I've always had it since I've put it in this PC, running at 4.2 gigahertz from BIOS startup on. I'm running an Asus X570 Pro White RGB motherboard. I also have 64 gig of Corsair Vengeance RAM in my slots, white RGB, because I've gone for a white theme. I also have Power Color ATI Red Devil 12 gig graphics card. Now that is usually 350 megahertz, so 2.35 gigahertz out of the box, with its 12 gig of RAM. And the RAM runs around 2 gig. But I am running it for this with its auto overclock GPU feature in the AMD control center, which is I think it's an extra 330 odd megahertz on the GPU, so it's gone from 2350 to nearly 2700. Then I'm running a Thermalake 1050 watt RGB power supply to run it all with NZXT Water Kraken Z78 white IO along the top in a Fractal Meshify S2 case. So you know, it's a good £2.5 worth of PC. I've had it for 18 months now, 2 years now. I didn't get the 16 gig graphics card version of the Red Devil because we'd just come out of COVID, chips were scarce, I couldn't get the 16 gig for love nor money. Then when I did have the money to get the 16 gig, they came out with the 24 gig variant to compete with obviously the 4070s and the 4090s. And I've now run out of credit to be able to upgrade, but it does this fine. As you can see, though, there's a little bit of stuttering. That is more server side than it is local side, and the fact that it's an alpha. But yeah, the specific settings I've needed to tune in the control center, and like all my BIOS is standard apart from the XMP OC profile for the RAM and the voltage. I've let the auto tune wizard do that for me. And apart from the manual, like I say manual, I click a button to overclock the GPU automatically, and it gives me the extra 300 on the graphics chip. Like apart from that and the CPU, like I've mentioned, but the CPU I've ran straight out the box at 420 straight off the bat. Oh, sorry. This game runs okay. It runs quite smooth. Got good frames. You know, I regularly get between 60 and 80 frames per second. 30 to 40 in troughs and when server FPS drops. But at peaks, I do have screenshots of peaks at around 100 to 106, I think I've topped out, or 113 frames per second. But that's limited in where that happens, what I'm looking at, and the instances within the game that that's occurred. Usually under, I'd say, 2/3 server load, so around 60 players or less. But again, that's more for a local thing than the server FPS that's tied to that. But yes, if you're going to get into this game and you do want to get a package, I will warn you now, the minimum spec, even to run this game as an alpha, with that minimum spec, you will struggle. I will say this now, there are people online who don't, but that's because they've had to really custom fine tune that hardware to get it to work, and then turn down a lot of the settings in the game, the resolution, a lot of the tricks and stuff that this game actually needs to run. And they've got theirs running, but I do think that they're the ones that come into a lot of the trouble and a lot of the problems that are getting flagged up online game wise for this alpha. So they're really doing the hot bed testing, I guess, for the QAs to be able to make sure this game runs and stuff. To have a playable, smooth experience that the more general user is going to have, the recommended to and above settings, you're going to need to boost a little bit more than that. purely because this game is resource heavy. For a start, it's not optimized, which, okay, the game isn't optimized, that's good. We'll take that on the chin as it is. But because it's not optimized, it does mean that the way that it's been designed, with all of this max graphical capabilities and such like, is the way that it's been designed and intended to look and run. Therefore, running it on any less causes problems, because there's no optimization, to be able to adjust for those changes, right? So I'll give you an example. Although they've been working on the texture tessellization, for like surfaces and stuff, and the transitions of like these kind of components, yes, you could turn around and scale down the textures and such like, but you'll find that not only will it look very bad, but you'll find that you'll have issues with them being solid, because the game's engine, from what I've discovered, having had a little brief foray into CryEngine just as a standalone, and how Unreal Editor works as well, or Unreal Engine works, is that unless you apply the texture vertices to that flat plane and count that as a solid surface, like you can see on screen now, all of those bars and such have a texture wrapped around them because they have been modelled to be tubular. Okay, so if you wanted this surface to be solid, it doesn't, like at this graphical level, it's not relying on the texture to make it solid, it's relying on the 3D model. Okay, when you start bringing the tessellation and such down, that 3D model gets relied on less and less. So it's the texture that then takes up the brunt of that work. Well, textures are thin 2D planes that get wrapped on the surface that they're applied. When doing so, like any vector graphics or layering person will let you know, this is where you start running into issues if the layers aren't ordered correctly. So in this game, you'll find that hitting the tilde key, you'll get a lot of warning and notices over things that aren't found, or attachments to the graphics that aren't loading in the correct order. Now, a lot of the time, the server and your locale hardware and file system for this game will turn around and be able to compensate for that, but only within a very fine, thin range of settings, because of the lack of optimization. Now, because of that, you'll find that on a lower graphic setting, resolution setting, lower hardware and stuff, it just can't keep up with the way that the server is trying to send and rotate and read and write the information to your local version of the game with what it has on its persistent universe version of the game. And this is where I think a lot of the issues are starting to occur in the breakdown of this alpha game, and why people find these glitches, find these issues with character models, why freaky shit happens. But it mostly seems contained to lower res versions, or lower hardware versions, or those that have overclocked the hell and got custom stuff running on their systems that isn't stable, that this game, when pushing that stuff, then starts to cause issues with, and those are the people that complain in the community, without realising that, oh, maybe we're the ones that we did, there's something that we've done that is causing the issue, right? That's not to say that, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. It's just then a negligence to not knowing how some of these issues work when it comes to into a game engine to then apply to the game you see around you that you're then playing and technically testing. Particularly when that surface information of, oh, well, we know the game's not optimized and it needs quite a dense amount of hardware to run, so we'll try and get it to run. Oh, this looks good when we run it as standard, let's see how far we can push it. That's not testing the game, that's trying to play the game at maximum FPS when it's a, one, unfinished game, and two, has these issues where any customized options outside of the game, unless you know how the interactions in game and how a game engine works when it's coded and compiled and then produced, even without something like a persistent universe that's constantly read and writing every minute change in the game and on the server that you're playing, for every person that you're playing, it's an astounding feat that the game works at all. So I find it quite interesting that we know that this is an alpha game, we know that it's not optimized, and these issues can occur. Now, for the most part, for me, I'm lucky that with my settings, I've found what works for the game with the lack of optimization and with the settings that I've got in-game, right? To get it to work on my ultra-wide screen, that was an issue in and of itself, right? Because this game doesn't like ultra-wide screens. You've got to do a couple of upgrades and a couple of downgrades in different places to be able to play it on an ultra-wide and get the same results where it's like fully immersive, without having screen tearing, without having shitty response times, without having borders at the side that then fisheye lens what they can't, where an ordinary screen, HDMI flat screen or whatever, or a gaming monitor, where it would turn around and end at its resolution. On an ultra-wide, you've got the extra pixels lengthways, not widthways or heightways. So yeah, headaches galore in that sense. It's not to say that it's bad, it's just to say that there are certain instances of settings that people are forgetting that they've inputted that are then causing the issues that then make more problems in this game because of the lack of things that they already know, the lack of optimization, needing to have a decent spec. I've turned around and clocked my system that's stable in other games where they've been made with optimization. They are, commercial releases, and as a result have that optimization that allows the game to run properly. This one doesn't, and they forget that fact. So it's like, well, maybe try turning a lot of that off, going into the game, and then slowly working up. What?
I have been authorized to scan your vehicle for
Cool,
security.
I haven't even left a hangar and you're scanning me already. On the right, he's just come to scan me, and he came inside the hangar even though there is no way he could come inside because the doors are shut. Wow. See, little things like this. Funny as fuck. Glad to have captured it. The video as well, look at him, his animation's not fantastic because the resolution for his screen is not brilliant. That's fine. So yeah, silly little things, and a lot of people forget these things, I think. So if you're looking for advice and stuff on the community boards, forum posts and what have you, don't be put off by the information there from disgruntled users who either can't get it to work, screaming blue murder because they've spent so much money back in the game and it doesn't work or it's unplayable. So, because a lot of them, I think personally, are forgetting the things that they have done themselves to their system outside of the game to get it to run, and this game doesn't like it because it's now stress testing those things that aren't really going to work with this particular game, so it needs its own custom profile. But yeah, back to the point, don't believe the minimum specs, go for something that's like one grade up. So if it says that you need 16 gig of RAM, try and get a little bit more, go to 24 or 32 if you can. If it says you need this size of, yeah, that's one thing, only run this game on an SSD or an NVMe if you can, an M2, because they're the only things fast enough hard drive wise to run this game. Don't run them on anything else. Don't, for the love of God, put them on an external drive. The game just will refuse to run. You'll encounter every problem under the sun before you even get into the menus, let alone if it'll load into the menus. Yeah, it just doesn't like that. Graphics, go for the best graphics that you can. RAM and CPU is currently more important because that's what takes most of the load at the moment. The next major patch update is going to change that, apparently. It will offload some to the graphics card more, which, excuse me, is more the lack of optimization and in how this game runs. They've put all the base stuff in, and now they are trying to put in the more finer details, the stuff that will actually keep this game going and such like, which as it stands will be some of the first parts of optimization. that's from what I've been told by a couple of people. Again, in the previous server, that's what I've turned around and read by myself on the forums, and I also had a very nice chat, or a commentary, should I say, online commentary, with the guy that wrote and coded the Starfab tools that actually allow this game to be extracted out of the P4K file. Mr. Dolkins, thank you, Mr. Dolkins. If you ever watch or hear or see this, I thank you for your input. I'm glad that my slightly 2.5-3 year out of date memory technology and compression technology knowledge has been brought up to speed and ever so slightly corrected. I do thank you for that. But your input was paramount to me being able to understand how this game actually works when it's compressed, and where the team are actually going. So again, thank you for your tools, thank you for the ability that one day I think this game will have modding potential, whether that's the community itself, or whether you'll be able to petition, if you are a modder, being able to input your own models to CIG for them to then, you know, license from you to then put in the game. I don't know, but I do think there'll be a huge potential to those who want to be able to do it with those particular tools to decompress the P4K and extract the objects and the materials and stuff, the assets of this game. Very, very helpful, very useful. Thank you very much. But yes, yeah, back to topic. The minimum spec of this, I would go 1 up from it and try and aim as much as you can towards the recommended, because it's a beast of a game. It really does look beautiful, but you need a lot of the spec to be able to run it. So yeah, don't be surprised if it doesn't run on the minimum spec for you if you do just follow that. Okay. Anyway, back to the game. Let's go pick up this package. What's going on here? Why does this place look trashed? Why has this place been trashed? What the... Okay. So this shipping hub is trashed, huh? Yeah, this place is fucked. Okay, so we got 2 landing pads there. And we got a gantry here. Alright. No, that's a... What's it? I wonder if... No? Oh, the lights are on, but it doesn't look like anyone's home, to be honest. Although it is a touch concerning that we can get to the place, but... Oh, okay, I see. Stairs there. Cool. Right, so let's land this bad boy. Oh. Yeah, we landed. Cool. Fantastic. Let's turn off the engines. Let's turn off the systems. And let's get out of the tub. Let's get out of the tub. Come on. There we go. Right, we've got everything on board. Yep, cool. We've even got the bad boys there. Cool. Right. So let's do this properly. We'll open. EVA, because there's no gravity on this place. Okay, cool. So there's no gravity on the station because it's dead. Interesting. I thought Covalex was actually working. No. it's been fully shot out, this place. Cool. So let's oh no, the gravity here. I don't want to suck to the door. I just want to... Why is it locked? Oh, have I got to just go through the window, huh? Alright, that's what we'll do. We'll go through the window. That doesn't exist. Whee! I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, well, that was silly. Oh, I'm on deck 3. That's the only problem with this EVA in this mode. Is that... Get out of here, fly. There we are. Oh, okay, so that's got glass. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, the EVA in this particular version is not great because the guy still tries to stand, but then every time he contacts something, it's like the gravity takes him and he don't want to know. So you end up with proper ragdoll physics, like so. It's not brilliant. It could be better. It is supposed to be getting better in the next update. Fuck it, should we go down? I'll go down to the next floor. Let's get back. Is that the same? This is the same floor. Oh no, it's not. I am on deck 2. Cool. Why? Let's get you out here. See what I mean? You hit the floor, he stumbles, he rolls, because he's a rag doll. Fuck yeah. Oh, so confusing. It doesn't make very well for these kind of adventures, for sure. When you just fuck off. See? Glitches. He's supposed to be EVAing, he's supposed to be 0G, and shit just catches him. Right. No. Carry. Right. We're going to pause it there for a second. What are you doing? Okay, so we can't let go of shit if we want to... Cool. Authorised personnel only. Okay, well I think I'm authorised. It's open. I reckon that's a... Yeah, it is. Cool. Well, that was the way in and out, ladies and gents. Through that top door. Something tells me that this box is, as he said, for the case, and I suppose the case is that it's something to do with how this station got attacked and blown up. Yeah, there we go. Right, so we can now drop that package. Don't phase through the floor, thank you. Oh, shut the door. And on shutting the door, we are just going to manoeuvre out of the way because I need to. There we go. Switch on a bit of light. Let's close up the window and the curtains. Now that it's getting a bit dark, get a sense of the old adventure in here. There we go. Right. Where are we? Oh yes, we've just got that package. Lovely jubbly. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Let's get the fudge out of Raj. Oh, there we go. Now, there's a high chance that we're going to get attacked on this one. Purely because of what the job description said. Which is a crew L1. And this station, set a bit of let me. Set the route. Oh, I can't yet. Hang on, because I've not switched on any of my systems. Cool. Oh, well, that's wicked. So I can't take off from this station. Fantastic. So cool. Nice. Cool. I actually cannot take off. Somehow this shit has soft deafened me. Which basically means that I can't get any response from my ship. So that's cool. There's only one way to do that. I don't like doing it 'cause it means I'm going to have to EVA again. And then we're going to need to... This is going to suck. Yeah, no. Landing completed, but look at it. The model has failed. Well, there you go. That's a glitch for you. My ship has fucked itself, which now means I'm stuck here. Because I can't do anything with it. The model has glitched to the station, which makes it completely inoperable apart from external what's-its, and that includes this. So that's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I cannot, unless I happen to. I don't think I have a larger one with me. Let's just have a check in the old inventory. No, I don't have a large. It won't let me have one in this backpack either. No. Okay, so I don't have a large tractor, and yeah, there you go. Look, that's now changed to placeholder, which means that I am bugged. So there you go. That's the glitches that I've got, and these are the glitches that have occurred, which now means, unfortunately, that I am probably. In fact, I will. I am going to have to exit or kill myself. No, I don't want to kill myself. Shit! I've just lost all the items that are on that vessel as well, because I can't get back. It suggests that he's supposed to be something too. Not cool. Not cool. So either something glitched on the way over, or something glitched before I left the hangar. Probably the guy that came in to scan me, that glitched through the wall. No, because that was in the Titan. Was that in the Titan? No, that was in the cutter. Okay. Well, if that's the case, what we're going to do then, chat, is we are going to take a break. I will see you in a few minutes. Purely because I'm going to need to undo this particular soft death, which requires me to not lose shit. Unfortunately, so I mean, it could be that mission that's bugged. It might not be, but we should be so lucky. As a result, though, I will say I'm going to use this opportunity to take a break. In taking a break, I am also going to go get a drink, and so on and so forth. And I shall then return. So, I will catch you in a few minutes. Please stay with us. If you're looking for something to do in the meantime, like, follow, share and subscribe. The links to my YouTube channel that will feature the permanent versions of the live streams, that's where they will live. If you'd like to head over to the Discord, that would be fantastic. Go add yourselves over there. I am currently the only person there. I would very much appreciate a little community to build. So if you like and follow this channel, whether you've just started, please go join me on my Discord. It would be great to have people to talk to. And yeah, I will see you in a few minutes.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, he's back in the hot seat. Alright, let's head on over to... Or rather, let's get this in line before being able to jump the stream back on to where it should be. Silly idiot here has been chasing a flying thing in my room for a little while after I went to get that drink. Yeah, I've been following that through and around the room. Yeah, but hopefully with my lamp on behind me and over my other shoulder, we'll be able to negate him coming to attack me on stream. Not that I've got a problem with creepy crawlies or anything. I just obviously it's not ideal having something flying in your face while you're trying to play a game. It's a little off-putting. Alright, let's go back. Yep, move that to go back to the start point on Seraphim, because fully bogged out my ship. There's no hope of me getting rescued. Not that I guess, well, I do want to be rescued, but not many people call out to the calling beacons that you can set to be rescued. So I didn't do that. So let's well, I'm just a tutorial for delivery missions. I've just done a couple. Wow, this place is messy. The server's trashy. So let's access this bad boy. Let's claim the ship.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
I'm gonna lose everything on it because I've had to claim it and I've flown everything back. There's a tip: if you put anything into the inventory of your ships, and you have to claim it by insurance and the expedited fees and so on and so forth, anything that's in the inventory gets lost. So what I'd managed to save, like my Avenger Titan's fine because I landed that and stored it naturally, but everything that was on the Drake Cutter that I hadn't yet managed to take off, that I should have done before I left the hangar, that's now very likely gone. Which is a bit annoying, to be totally honest. In fact, it's really annoying because I had some nice stuff in that backpack. Yawnage. Don't know why I'm tired. Anyway, what was I going to do instead? Do you know what? Let's take out the Vulture and let's go do some salvage. I think that's what I'm going to do. I didn't pay attention at all to what screen my... Oh, fuck it. There you go, 3. Yeah, let's go to hangar 3. Let's go do some salvage. I do have to say, salvage is one of my favourite things to do in this game, alongside bunker missions, I guess. There's just something about them I find really therapeutic, really invigorating and awesome. I do have my pyromotor tool there, so that's cool. Got weapons if I need them. Sweet. We've got everything we need. We've got a trick with the invincible. Infinite. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Why was that so hard to come up with? Got me the old infinite drink trick going. Let's get up this ladder. Open the door. Open the door. Wow. This server's a little on the slow side. This is not good. Why? Do you wanna... Oh no. I think this server's going to die. Yeah, this server FPS is this server's trash. It's gone to 4.8 and it's frozen. Let's beat it to the punch, shall we? Before it crashes on us. Wow. Wow. Not a not a very successful let's go on a best server. Yeah, okay, we don't need that. Couldn't find override spawn location. Well, that can back right off. Ah, of course I pressed delete before it hit it. There we go. Where's my phone? There we go. Right. Let's try again. Go do some salvage. And if shit fucks up, I might just call it a night. But I think I'm gonna do the one salvage. Potentially. There's a lot of shit on the floor here. Everyone loves those carts, but as soon as you do them too fast or too hard, that's it. It's
Welcome to the ASOS
they just tip
vehicle
and
retrieval
topple
system.
over. Right, let's retrieve
Vehicles,
the
your
Vulture.
vehicle has been
Hangar
delivered to the
3.
following
That
places.
was a much better response in respawn and as such. Yeah, the responsiveness to some of the interactions and graphics are a little better already. Again, it's a game that when you've played it where it's so glitchy before, to where it is now, you do get a very good feel for if you're on a good server or not, even if it's got a good server FPS. Do you want to open? Are you kidding me? I hit the button and it still didn't reload. See, little things like that. You hit the button, doesn't register. That's why I usually click 3 or 4 times. I guess I just got used to earlier on only needing the one click. Actually, yes, because I need to test that this now works. Let's close that. Let's get this up. Let's get up here. There is a side entrance to the cockpit. Why is the inner door? Why are the inner doors not working? Oh, I don't like this. Don't tell me I can't use my Vulture. Oh no. This won't be good if I can't use my Vulture. It means I won't be able to do any salvage. And salvage is what I like to do. Okay, so we go up this. Yeah, okay, cool. Either that or they've done some back-end stuff. Potentially bugged certain things in the game. I don't think I'll ever get over the message in chat either, for those that are viewing, that to think that I'm being gatekept and not allowed to talk to people outside of a Discord server, people that I made friends with within it whilst playing this game, to not talk to them. Right, I think that's disgusting behaviour. And to come in and say that I'm an admin, I don't follow rules. Right, well, good for you. Good for you that you don't follow the rules. The same rules that state that you should be able to go to the admins to sort that shit out. I bet you're all laughing it up, you narcissistic fucks. Just goes to prove my point that everyone in there clearly is a narcissist that's an admin, because they don't play by their own fucking rules, which is, it defeats the object of having rules. Like, it's really going to bug me outside of tonight. That's really going to get on my goat. So that sense of entitlement, that sense of we can do what we want but you can't, nah mate, that's not what being online and having friends is all about. That's dictatorships. That shit's never going to turn around and last. And if it does, it's only because the people who follow you, stupid. You can't think for themselves. They ain't got no critical thinking. Like, I'm not saying that's everyone in the server, I'm just saying it's like, people will figure it out eventually, and I only highlighted it to those who specifically asked what happened. Just to reiterate, I didn't go fucking hounding anyone or anything like that. I merely stated, this is what's happened to me as an experience, these are the flaws in the system that is being enacted on that server, and that's what I have an issue with. Because clearly not everyone's going to be treated equally in that place. So be warned. If you're in that place, I will say it now, be warned. You might have the view of being treated equally in there at the moment, but I doubt everyone is. It's just a facade, it's just a view, it's just a front. Which is what toxic and abusive people do. They put on a front, man. Like, they'll get you eventually. I just noticed it really early on, I guess. And that's not me being bitter either about the whole, like, the issues they had with me streaming and not using their stream channel. Okay, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes, that's fine. We were sorting it out to the point of I deleted all my content on this channel and my YouTube channel to appease them before being kicked and before the vote. So, and the vote only happened after I mentioned to the owner of the server that there is a problem with what he'd specifically said to me in game when I was enacting the speak when spoken to rule, and having not been on for days. So it's just like, personally, I don't know about you guys, I'm not prepared to be spoken to like a piece of trash, like a piece of meat, like I'm shit on someone's shoe, just because it's their server and they invited me to it. I expect to be spoken to how you would expect me to treat you, right? How treat each other how you want to be treated. They didn't like how... They clearly didn't like what I had to say about their flaws. Or what they said that hurt me, or affected me, or how they were capable of the same problems, the same flaws that they were chastising me with, the rules that they'd written, just because I did it first, basically. Yeah, okay, I'm willing to turn around and accept that. I'll grow and learn from that. I then made the mistake again, but also in a test of the experiment that, okay, you've written these rules, but you're not applying them to anyone else from what I've seen over the course of a week or so. So I'm just carrying on and going to do what you would do, which is to just carry on and ignore the rules, which I've had confirmation of that as admins that you don't follow your own rules. Then why have them? It's as simple as that, really, isn't it? It's not a way to turn around and be with people, and it's not a way to treat people either. Right, everyone makes mistakes. And you could say after that explanation, oh, I did it on purpose. So, only because I rectified my mistakes and you still didn't like what I was doing and you were still tarnishing me with the same brush in private behind my back when I wasn't on. And I found out, so I challenged you on it and you didn't like it. So in order to get rid of that, you've got rid of the problem by removing me from the server. And then I've highlighted that fact to other members outside the server and you don't like that either, so you're trying to snuff that out as well. I'm sorry, just people that do that are usually criminals. People who kill people, people that get rid of evidence. They're all of the same cloth. They're not cool. They are toxic and abusive. Either that or they have things like god complexes or sense of entitlement, etc. Like, all I wanted to do was to do what the what the rules then stated, to help grow the community, which was to show this game and guys' servers online, because no one wanted to take up that mantle, no one wanted to bother to do it. But now I know why. It's because none of them wanted to be broadcast because of the filth that comes out of their mouths, and clearly they don't want to be found out by a public following of people of what they're really like. Which now I have swathes of evidence. I've got what was said to me in private and now what's been said to me in public, and the very fact that people have come over to my channel to say such a thing shows that clearly I've been vindicated in the behaviour of these individuals. So yeah, it just goes to show you, doesn't it, that wolves in sheep's clothing and all of that jazz. Right, anyway, on to a salvage. Let's go do... We want to be over there. No, not really. We want to be quite close. Scorpius, yeah, it's a small salvage because there's probably not much of it left. See, I accepted that and it's not come up. Cool. Cool, so contracts tonight, just... Okay, I can't salvage. They've broken salvage in the game apparently. That's really upsetting. Well, on that note, seeing as it's broken, I'm going to call it a night there, I think. Because it didn't want to accept the one mission I wanted to do. Will it accept any others?
Contact.
Yeah, I know we've got contact. Let's see. Have we got one that's close? Yeah, let's go to that. Yeah, it's not letting me accept salvage. Brilliant stuff. I can't do salvage missions, which are my favourite ones to do. Nice. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not happy about that. Unless it's just a bug, and that's just a bug for tonight. Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to sign off here. This is the first foray in space. No one can hear you stream. Never mind. It's come up. It's finally been accepted. Cancel that. Scratch that. Scratch that stream. Apparently, it just took me forever to have that come up as an accepted salvage right. I've just accepted a load of them though. Oh dear. Crew 1, crew of we'll abandon that Scorpius. We'll keep that one on, I think. Yeah, abandon that one. Cool. Let's go to crew L1. Oh, into the sun we go. Yeah, scratch that end. We'll go do this one salvage mission. Yeah, it is on. beautiful. And let's there we go, pushing 80 odd FPS. If you again look in certain directions, you can push the FPS higher. It does depend where you're looking, obviously. Still getting warnings of what's not loading though, so clearly this is not the best of servers. I suppose not that that's a problem, it's better than what I had earlier, but it's still not great because clearly there's an issue with salvage taking a while to accept and claim and blah 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 blah, which is not ideal. Especially since they're my favourite missions to do in solo play. Anyway, back to it. So this is the Drake Vulture, which is pretty much your only real option for solo salvage that's decent, right? Costs a fair few clams, costs a fair few credits to resolve. Why am I still so far out? Oh, it didn't even put me close to the fucking station. What? Maybe it's because it was a manual jump. Oh, who? Had it on and then I took it off. Brilliant. And we're good to go. Sweet. So you see there. Yeah, this is pretty much your only real option. Fair few clams, especially now that they're increasing the ship prices for the next concurrent patch. So let's get to salvaging this motherfucker. It's such a way out. That's right, we'll cover ground pretty quick. Ah, it's the same moth thing from yesterday. God damn it. Oh, it's of at least the same type, should I say. So yeah, let's go salvage us a fucking boat. And hope that we get quick claim in before I decide to dip and disappear. Skew it off to that side, and we're not going to slam into it just by going straight to it. It's a tip there, guys. In space travel, you definitely want to skew your travel to places like this that are distanced out. If you're traveling at speed and waiting to slow down, each ship has its own characteristics for flight, and how they respond. So there was a time not so long ago, not so many moons ago, that I'd fly straight to these things and forget that this thing takes a while to slow down, even with your reverse boost on. Oh, excuse me. Cool. Waypoint disappears. Where's my fucking... Right. So I've got to salvage something that isn't... I'm going to salvage something that's literally just disappeared in front of my face. Cool beans. Right. There it is. So yeah, I worked out that the best thing to do is to aim towards it and then just slam, like, and aim left, right, up, down, doesn't matter which, and then when you get close, work out, right, what your thrust is, and then you want to be the 1000th of it floating before reverse thrusting. Now this I can just climb down, I think. Yeah, I can climb down a little because this thing It's nearly there. There she is. There she is. But yeah, see how dark and mysterious? You can just fly into a ship and that's it, gone. Oh look, it's the X-Wing. Oh, I can't say that, can I? Because it's an IP. But it might as well be the X-Wing. Certainly taking inspiration from it, hasn't it? You see how dark and black that bad boy is? Oh yeah.
Port impact warning.
Yeah, we know about the impact warning because I'm literally right in front of it. Now, where's the widest point on it? I suppose that's one of the better angles on it. Let's go to salvage mode. And then I need to select one head, change it to the abrade, which is Alt D to select the right hand side. And then right click to swap, as you can see on that right hand side. I can switch between the two heads. Cool. Anyway, that's that done. So now what I'm going to do, now that I've done that, is I'm going to hit right shift, which puts on the rotation lock, so now I can't left, right, up or down. I can only space and control, which are obviously veto up and down. And then Alt tab, not Alt tab, I'm going to Alt S, sorry, to get both of my mining heads switched on. Okay, and then I'm going to press G to gimbal them, which allows free motion, free movement. And this is mining. For those who haven't seen it before, who might not have seen the old material.
800 DPI.
Turn
1400 DPI.
interesting.
1800 DPI. 800 DPI.
I'm sure my DPI used to be lower than 800 on the nose. But yes, I turn it all the way down for the accuracy, for getting to make sure that I don't mine, so I don't salvage laser over an area too fast. Because in this, it might all be about salvaging, but if you look at those two blue circles on each side for the laser, you can see that it tells you it's in an area. And as you can see, if I go to a fresh area, if I just stay in an area, see how that circle grows and grows and grows. That's because of how much material it's obviously salvaging in that area. So you want it to salvage all of it as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible, where you're not having to go over the same areas over and over and over again. So it's actually about, for me, it's about being able to cover an area and stay in it whilst constantly travelling as smoothly as possible, so that you're getting all of the material and you haven't got to keep doing all this shit to get all the material, right? So you're only having to cover one face once. I can strafe still in this rotation lock mode, which should be enough to get me where I need to be in all of the areas. There we go. So yeah, for me, what I like to do is I like to visualize the hull and particulars of a ship in sections, right? Start with the flattest plane you can, flattest, widest plane, which is usually either the top of a ship or the underbelly of a ship. And divide it from top to bottom like you would do anything else. Hung, drawn and quartered, you know, the old cross shape. Which is what I do, and I work from one side to the other. Okay. So just demoing that I usually like to get rid of the midsection. And try and do it like a book if you can, from left to right. Makes the most sense, unless of course you're in a part of the world where you read from right to left. No skin off my nose, you do you, whichever is easiest, but I would suggest that's the most sensible method when it comes to this, because then you're not forgetting the areas that you've done, and it actually goes pretty quick because you can already remember which bits you've already done for the most part. Obviously everyone's got their own method, but that's what it looked like I had, but then it graphically imported that I had, which is obviously not the case. Just to make sure there, you will also find that there are some parts, and you see how this section lights up and highlights in yellow. That's because that is a component. That's a component, and then obviously the bits to the sides are separate components of the model, but that component and this component are actually parts of the ship that when it fractures they should be two separate pieces along with the bits that are left over. Incidentally, if you do have the models, the ability to uncompress the P4K of this game and check out the models and such, then you'll find that this is how the ships are usually made up of, constituent parts in the 3D models and the textures and the assets of the game, which obviously makes for an interesting mod of the game, if we were going to, or if you wanted to create your own, so just bear that in mind. So I'm now going to go to the other side and switch that off. Let's go to the underside and do the two main surfaces first, because that's how we'll get most of the salvage. And as you can see on the top, we've still got the mission of claiming the rights, and then also a salvage bar, and that bar is what we need to deplete to be able to complete this mission. So let's just center up a little. There we go. Rotation lock. Let's turn that off. Go to gimbal mode and switch on. So yeah, that's the area that these go to. So if I just keep it there, then the lasers should eventually pan out. They don't always. It depends on the surface of the ship. See how the outline is now changing to red though, because this component has nearly been fully salvaged, which means it should be free to, when I fracture this, it should split off into a part, fully contested piece basically. You'll see that there are bits as well with the way that these components work, however, that you'll go to salvage a part of it, and the two skew circles for each side of the mining heads and parts in this laser format. Now that's obviously due to change at some point, because they do want to have the salvage in the game where you can salvage things like the shield generators or the weapons or the power units or the cooling units, where you'll be able to do a salvage like this and actually reclaim them as the actual units and not just as materials, which obviously would be ideal, because then you can save money on those parts and having to buy them new. How long that'll be before that gets in the game, I don't know. There are some parts of it sort of in there that don't really work though. Oh, there we go, we've salvaged enough for this mission to be complete. Fantastic. But we haven't salvaged that much of the ship, because on the HUD on the far right hand side where it says depot and then that skew total, that's how much we've actually got in the boat. We've only salvaged 3 skew of 13 that this vulture can handle, so we're going to try and get as much of this as we can. Sorry if I go quiet. I love this. This is therapeutic to me. This whole salvage stuff. So I tend to go quite quiet. As it's not necessarily that I'm concentrating. I am, but not down. It's so just the sound and the visual and the motion. It's really calming and fluid. It's really soothing, which is another reason I really recommend this to anyone who might be neurodivergent that's into this kind of theming, or the thematics of sci-fi and space sim. It is an alpha, yeah, sure, you need a specky PC or laptop to play it, sure, but when you're online you've got it working, it is really quite fulfilling, and a lot of the survival stuff you don't really need to do. You can sort of just play the game, so it is a bit pick up and go arcadey in that way. It just takes a little bit to get used to the mechanics, and obviously we're doing things can be quite, it can feel like it's quite involved. But on the flip side, I would say you encounter stuff like this, where when you know what you want to do and what you want to play and what you want to like have to earn money, and it's really easy to get into to then go and do that. And salvage, salvage is just one of those things that is, for me, just hits the nose on the head. Therapeutic. Does its job. Really pleasing, really fulfilling. Let's take the rotation off now. Let's get the gimbal going. Rotation lock off. Jesus. Did not want me to take that off. So that's back in the middle. Now I usually do the intricate stuff, the bits on the sides that the laser usually can't get to unless you're obviously side on. And get into all those little nooks and crannies, get all those gaps. Anywhere that might be missed. Oh yeah, another thing I found funny earlier on in conversation, earlier in the stream obviously, about the old Discord server group, is that I get unfollowed and kicked / banned from the server and what have you, removed from friends lists on Discord, my stream and what have you. So not only have one of the members come in and, as can be seen in the chat, and try to gatekeep who I can and can't talk to, because apparently that's harassment outside of the Discord server. No, it's not. I can talk to who the hell I damn well please, and so can they, and anyone who thinks otherwise, you've got a serious issue. But I also find it funny that the owner of that server, despite unfollowing me and banning like banning me or blocking me or whatever, whether it be on Discord, whether it be one profile here on Twitch, decided during this stream, during that moment, to then also activity feed refollow me with a different account. Why? You don't want to know me. You don't want me in your server, but you're willing to follow my stream even though you had a problem with me streaming. That doesn't make sense to me. If you've got a problem with me, why are you still trying to interact with my channels? Like, why are you still trying? Is it because you're trying to keep tabs on me? Does no one else find that weird? I'd find that weird. I'd find it a little borderline creepy, actually, because you've made it clear your intentions. For anyone who's interested in the drama, by all means, ask me. I will be happy to show the evidence that I have, that was screenshots of the way I was talked to. Like I said, I'll hold my hands up where I made the mistake, that's fine, but I'm then arguing the toss about the rules not being followed by everyone else in that server. They only were written because I made a mistake, and then were only applied to me. which is hilarious, to then come over to my Twitch and have a go, as per the chat, and then also think that one, that's okay, and two, you can tell another person who they can and can't talk to and say it's harassment. It really isn't. And then three, also come back and follow my fucking channel again. What? Because you're keeping tabs on me, yeah? You're not gonna like the content that I come out with? Do you think it's gonna be harmful to you? I'm not gonna mention names. I don't need to mention names. I'm not petty. I can mention names if you like. By all means, I can turn around and happily mention names. It's not like I'll dox you, but I will certainly turn around and say this person acts in this way. They are a toxic player. And as a result, like anyone who streams, like any good community, they will avoid you because you are a toxic person. Clearly. Who is either power tripping or doesn't like not getting their own way, or only wants to apply the rules to everyone else but them. Like, still power trip, I guess. So it's more for community safety aspect, or encounter your particular Discord server. I think that anyone else, while both those included in the server still, because they would ask, I'm sure in the future they would start asking questions where I was, being such a proactive user, would start asking questions of where I am, and to also then suggest that, do you know what, I've lost my train of thought. That shows how nonsensical it is. But yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. If anyone ever actually watches this stream or re-watches it on the YouTube, I think it's incredible that people can apply rules to one person and then not themselves, and then come over and tell me who I can and can't speak to, as if, like, what, are your members of your Discord server yours and yours alone? You do know that they're individual people, right? And that they lead individual lives, and they can individually decide what they want to do or not. Whether that's speak to me again or play with me again, that's entirely up to them. I was only asking the question to find out if the owner of that server and the admins were A, bullshitting me, which it seems like yes they were, bullshitting other members, which seems like yes they will be, especially now, to try and snuff out the fire, and to also gatekeep people from each other. Like, the fuck? I'm sure people have seen other streamers and content creators encounter this type of bullshit all the time, to which I say, you fucking goober, to nick a term from Penguin Zero, good old Charlie, you know. Rock on moist. I would turn around and say this exactly the kind of bullshit that he would flag up and make an example of. And I don't see how me forewarning other players and other members of that particular community that certain admins are exactly this way, I don't see how that should be a problem. Because it just means that the rules are not fit for purpose, and nor are the people in charge. Make of it what you will. But that's my experience, and like, again, I'm not knocking that I made mistakes, that's fine, but I don't think that the couple of mistakes really end up like outweighing like your behaviour and what you've then decided to do thereafter with your actions and your behaviour, right? Like, there should be a process. There was, like, and it all happened incredibly fast, and I think it's just pathetic. And to call me the child and that I should get on with my fucking, or I should get a fucking life, like, there are some things that you just don't turn around and say to a neurodivergent, and it's not because we're neurodivergent, it's because you just don't say them to other people, especially those that have shared their issues. It shows that you have no moral compass. It shows you have no flexibility or scope for the inclusivity that you purport to have, both as a person and as a community in that server. Or at least it's run by someone, or the admin team at least, who don't have that particular backbone within them. Because again, the treatment alone of the individual in enacting those rules is diabolical. It really is. Like, it's as simple as that. Anyway, do I want to crack it? Yeah, I suppose I should crack it, shouldn't I? Let's right click and go over to the okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh yeah, because it's not that, is it? It's oh fuck, why have I forgotten? There we go. Alt W. Fracture. Here we go. So, let's switch the fucker on. Everything's all in the green. We're doing it on the side. It's only 2.9 skew. That's cool. Let's get a little closer. Let's make this go a little faster. And fractured for 2.9 skew. And now we shall dis it, which is disintegrate. Yeah, disintegrate, which is actually just collection. As much as fracture and then disintegration field. Yeah, disintegration field's great, but even though that might be what it does, it disintegrates stuff. I don't think it's termed quite correct in this game. I think we could term it something different. I mean, it does kind of turn it all to dust to be collected, for sure, but considering that suggests that we're destroying it like entirely, and we're just turning it into dust, into constituent parts, minerals, materials, whatever, to collect it. Right, it's more of a collection field. Yeah, okay, cool. Got any more bits? I don't think we have. I think that's it, boys and girls. That is our what's it done? Right, so now we will go to the station. Let's go to Ambitious Dream Station, shall we? Auto throttle ourselves over, and then we will boost QT ourselves to it. It'll be short and sweet. Yeah, there we go. Still loses 20 odd K out. Now, are we facing the actual... It's the only problem with stations when you come out of QT and stuff and you try to get the... What's it going? It's hard to tell sometimes which face we are on when we come in to a station, whether it's going to be upside, like whether we're facing the top side of it, the bottom side of it, for when we're coming into land. I think I'm on the correct side of it because of all the lights being on this side, but I could be wrong. Pretty sure, yeah, okay, we're going over that side. Thank you. Contacted, fantastic. Yeah, this looks like we're on the... Oh no, I think we're on the underside. Yeah, we're on the underside. Okay, cool. So let's do a roundabout. There we go. And we've landed. Brilliant. Okay. Let's turn all that off. And let's get out the seat. Right. Let's get down here. Open the door. Lovely stuff. Right. Let's see what have we got in our buffer. 3/6 of each. Okay, so we're going to auto eject. Always important to auto eject, unless you want to do it box by box. Really, really not ideal. So we'll do that. We'll get out our. There we go. Get our what's it out. Let's turn the lights on. Oh, the room light's terrible. There we go. Room lights are on. Give me that box and we'll snap it to our grid. Snap. Oh yeah, so there are the 3 boxes of that, and then we want to auto eject the 3 boxes of recycled. High chance that we probably won't be able to sell any of these at this station, because it depends on whether they've got commodity shop or a TDD, which is where we can sell these 2 particular items. So we might have to do that next time, because it's been nearly a 3-hour stream. I'm going to call it there at 10 past 10, I think. Maybe quarter past, I think, by the time I actually do get off once this is done. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, after the kerfuffle, I don't want to say not a great first stream. It's highlighted a few issues, I suppose, as to why I will now be streaming by myself. And it's because of gatekeeping narcissistic idiots from another server who wanted to have content put out, and then as soon as I did, decided that they don't want to have the content put out, and I think it's purely because they didn't like what was coming out of their own mouths being made public on stream. So, you know, it is what it is. Right, so they're now out of the buffer. Let's just go check, shall we? We'll get the hell out of here. Let's put this away. I can't quite remember exactly what is on Crew L1, Ambitious Dream Station. We will soon turn around and see when we get in. If we've got a cargo floor, then we're probably pretty good. If we're not, and it's got a refinery, it's just going to be stuff for mining, which is the opposite to salvage, which is doing all of the asteroid mining and going to planets and finding rocks to crack open and such. I don't have a ship that can do that yet, because you do need a different ship between mining and salvage. Oh, NPC's being funny, or who cares? So yeah, we'll get out of the security, we'll go over to, where's their lifts? I don't know, but that was like a cargo stat. Is that a cargo stat? Or is it just locked off there? I don't know, we're just going around the area because it looks like a car. I reckon this place is going to have a refinery, you know, by the looks of it. Some places have telltale signs, and those pipes look like a refinery job to me, rather than a cargo centre. Yeah, refinery. Damn! Okay, so we can't sell stuff here. That's a bit of a shame. So what we shall do then is, like I say, I'm going to call it there. Let me fleet manage,
vehicle retrieval system.
and we'll store you here Career 1 Ambitious Dream Station. Cool. Moves to the corner. And that's where I'm going to end the stream there, guys. So, despite the drama and my explanation of, I hope you're not dissuaded from coming back. I am primarily going to be streaming Star Citizen because I absolutely love the game. It will be solo play. I will be working through a lot of. Let's just go to. I'll go to this. The old Moby Glass. I am hoping to work through seeing what each of these have to offer. We'll read through some of the background to the missions and such like, and work out the fees and stuff. And the general is the safe missions. The personals, they're more like your freelance missions that are more, shall we say, crime stat based. Don't go into them just yet, but we'll certainly work through the general stuff. Now these change obviously per station that you happen to be, or area you have to be in, so ignore what it says here for now. But yeah, we'll work our way through those. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up and see and note down any graphic glitches, any errors and such, just to catalogue for reporting back to the team that I will do through my account on the forum, and to show you guys that this game is playable. Even though it's an alpha, it is highly playable. Yes, there are some issues, we ain't going to deny that, and we're not going to gloss over it either, but we are going to, or I'm going to show you, or hope to show you, some of the things that we can do to either work around these things, or to keep playing, or some of the instances where you have just got to back out to a menu to clear cache, rejoin a different server and stuff, which yes can be annoying, but just to keep things flowing and smooth, to keep playing this wonderful game that will eventually be heading towards commercial release. You know, it does look like it's getting much closer on the horizon. A lot of things that the team have been talking about and have been putting up on their website and at their YouTube, straight from the devs, seems to be heading in the right direction. So yes, I will turn around and say that that's the first return to stream for myself, Crunk7up, at CMP, with Star Citizen. I hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen. I hope you understand that, you know, I don't have any malice towards people with regards to the drama earlier on. I would like to build a community, so I do have links to the YouTube channel, which is at Officina after youtube.com. I do have a Discord server that is Colloquial Metaphor Productions, which is my media brand. Please come and check me out. I do music and stuff on the side, you know, game scores, actual playing stuff in bands. I also work at the moment as a guitarist for a hip-hop producer friend of mine. So yeah, anything advice-wise when it comes to that, tech, gaming, computing, etc. Let's chat. Let's have some fun. And I hope to be able to play some multiplayer games in the future if I abusive, who aren't toxic, and who are like-minded, who are just out to have fun, you know, and just good-hearted, nice people. You know, I've had a lot of trauma in my life, so I'd like to not have the hassle of people, the person earlier. So yes, I've been Crunk7up. Thank you for watching. This has been Star Citizen. You've been watching from my room at CMP, and I hope that you've enjoyed what you've seen about this game, and I hope that you take it easy. And with that, let's end. So there you have it. That's the stream, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the stream. I hope that we can recover without having too much drama. Until next time, like, share, follow, subscribe, find me on the socials, find me on Discord, find me on YouTube. The links are on this channel here on the Twitch page, and take care of yourselves. Good night.